Hello everyone, it's Fraser2998 back again to give you my review for Shokugeki no Soma chapter 153. I'm so sorry that I couldn't do chapter 152, only because for some reason the site that I was reading it off of didn't have it translated until Sunday, and I mean like Sunday at night, and I had like school the entire week, so I couldn't really make a video then, but now that chapter 153 came out on the regular Friday, I can make a video about it. Just to briefly recap what happened last chapter, because I didn't do a review, Ishiki-senpai's a badass. He's definitely now out of the Elite 10, as well as the other two members who were mentioned, Kaguya, and I believe the third seat has been removed. And he also set a whole bunch of rules that helps the people in the so-called Survivor's Purge. This is so bad. I think we actually know what the name of this arc is. It's called, I don't think it's, is it called? I don't think it's called the Survivor's Purge. I think it's actually called the Elite 10 arc. Also, we, got the fact that it's not just members of the Elite 10 who are participating in this. It's like the second tier as well. So people who could have become the Elite 10 if it wasn't for the fact that the Elite 10 already existed. So if the original Elite 10 had disappeared, these people would become the Elite 10, is what it is basically. So it blows my mind. Anyways, chapter 153. So chapter 153 starts off with Soma, Takumi, and Megumi going to venue D, because in the last chapter they all decided to go scout out and see the Shokugekis to get a grasp of what their opponents are going to be. Which is fine. Reconnaissance is the mission, but why is there a suspicion in the back of my head that, it's not going to just become this, So they're over there, and there's a whole bunch of people that get there, and Takumi's like, well, yeah, of course there's going to be a whole bunch of people, Other people outside of Tutsuki are going to be interested in this, as well as the clubs that are going to participate in these Shokugekis to save their clubs so that they don't get shut down, which is, again, fair enough. And in the next panel, we see Soma actually bringing up a major point where it's like, he's talking about Hayama, and as well as Kaguya-senpai's Chinese RS, as well as the Dawn RS. And the point that he brought is that they will eventually have to fight, but they're not fighting right now. And I'm glad that he mentions these characters, because Hayama, for the last couple of chapters, has done nothing. The last time we saw Hayama was when he was with Nakuri Alice and her servant, quote-unquote, in the sort of challenge that they had last time. Didn't work out too well for them until they got something going on, but in the beginning it failed, and Hayama looked like an idiot, even though he was the first place winner to basically ascend to the Elite 10, but he was still treated lower tier. Well, Soma, everybody made a whole big thing about Soma and how amazing he was going against an Elite 10 member, which was actually interesting to see, the least. So anyways, they get to the arena, and it's massively packed, and we see two of the Elite 10 members. We see the alchemist Aizen over there, and the Momo. Sorry, anybody whose name is Momo, I tend to think of the one character from Bleach, and then it just becomes funny to me. But no, her name is Akane Gakubo? Kubo Momo. Oh man, the connection was made. Anyways, Kubo is the one who made Bleach. Momo is the character. Yeah, whatever. So anyways, the three judges that are there are judges who are not easily bribed. They are fair judges, because that's what Ishiki's plan was in his clause that he read in the last chapter, was basically to be fair in the Shokugeki, to have judges who are fair in the Shokugekis, which is brilliant of him to do so, because the last time that happened, Soma really had to give it his all. Well, not his all, but he really had to do something about it, which made it that much more entertaining. So the challenge that was up, that we see in this chapter anyways, is the Chocolate Research Society with Momo, who I believe is ranked, she's either ranked 3rd or 4th. I put something on the screen when she's ranked. And fun fact with Momo is that she went to Tutsuki by making sweets. She made essentially sweet dishes that got her her seat in the Elite 10, which can only beg the question, is she only good with making sweets, or can she make, like, savory foods, or is it just like she's beautiful at sweets? Either way, we'll see, right? And in the next page, we see her rip off her stuffed cat's hand to use as mitten gloves. Both cute and very frightening at the same time. I remember when I read this chapter and I saw the comments, somebody was like, oh, I thought there would be, like, ingredients and stuffed inside the bear. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know what's stuffed inside the bear if she could easily rip off its paws and use it as mitten gloves. That is so funny. So she's, you know, she likes to talk to the bear. I believe her bear is her best friend. I'm not too sure what the relationship between her and her bear is, so I'm not going to go dig into that. I bet there's already pictures on, like, DeviantArt about that now, isn't there? So anyways, her delicate technique and brilliant aesthetic sense brought her into the Elite 10, even though she's only particularly good with Western confectionery and cakes. So as I said before, she's only good with, like, sweets and stuff. Okay, so she's the 4th seat, my bad, yeah. She was the 4th seat, still is the 4th seat, and is Tutsuki's Academy's best patsier. It's French for, I think, something. I don't know. I'll put something on the screen for that. Let me see her, like, culinary delight. It seems to be some sort of cake that looks like a checkered board. I really can't tell. Because it's in manga form, you can't tell, like, what the actual color... You can assume that it's definitely chocolate, and the lighter spots could be some sort of white chocolate, maybe. Again, I'm not too sure about how this whole cooking with sweets thing work. I'm like, hey, if it's chocolate, it's chocolate. That's right. I'm that type of person. And then they taste it, and the unbiased judges are like, all right, let's taste it. Hopefully it won't be that good. And they consume it. And yeah, both her and Aizen win the Shokugekis with, like, 3-0. It's what you expected because they're part of the Elite 10. What else? And the judges feel so bad voting for that, but they're unbiased, right? They have to be in order to actually be able to judge these competitions, which makes sense. So Takumi's there, and he's like, wow, a complete victory. And someone's like, wow. So someone's actually asking the question that I asked, where it's like, she's really good. Momo's really good at cooking with sweets. I wonder how she would do with any other thing. And then, like, Megumi's like, we're not here to challenge her. We're here to, like, reconnaissance. Don't do anything stupid, Soma. Someone's like, oh man, I want to take her on. And then Aizen, oh boy, we get a little Kylo Ren from Aizen here. Star Wars reference. If you haven't watched Star Wars, what have you been doing? Basically, he starts acting like a brat and starts, like, banging and stuff, and is really angry for the fact that he couldn't defeat Soma, and he asked Izuma to basically disband him from the Elite 10, and Izuma's like, I'm not going to disband you, I need you for something else, but just so you know, you have to now live with the fact that you lost this, goddamn, how did he put it? For your own dignity's sake. You have, like, very little dignity at this point, buddy, because you lost to a lower tier person. And then we get introduced to, as I said before in the beginning, the second tier of the Elite 10, or supposedly who was supposed to be the Elite 10. The analogy I can make to this is, again, Kuroko no Basuke, where it's like you have the Generation of Miracles, and then you have, like, the uncrowned kings, so the people who could have been this group of people if it wasn't for the fact that this group of people already exists and they're second tier. So we have a whole bunch of them, and I swear to God, one of them looks like Joker from Black Butler, or his brother, someone of the sorts, but he doesn't act like Joker, because Joker was better than that. So anyways, the girl, like, just makes fun of him. It's like, oh man, just tag us in, leave the rest of the matches to us, Mr. Lost to First Year Brat Aizen. And Aizen, like, you could see him pissed, but he won't do anything about it. And Soma and Takumi are there, and they're like, wow, those are the soldiers that are selected by by Izuma. And they're the chefs of the current ruling faction of Tutsuki, and you get to see them. So you see Quiet Girl number 1, Hulk, Bitch 1, and Bitch 2. And yeah, that's how I'm gonna call him now. You can guess who I hate. the most in this chapter. So they see him and they're like, yeah, well, you know what? We're going to take you on and we're going to annihilate you in the genre. So Joker, I'm going to call him Joker. That's his new nickname. I don't care what the frick his real name is because this is what he's going to be called. Joker basically goes, we're going to challenge you. You choose the genre. We don't care. We're going to destroy you in it. And it's like, well, we based our club around this. We've been practicing this more than you have. And it's what you expected. They have like this whole rebuttal thing. And when they accept it, the society groups, they get wrecked. I mean, wrecked. Like, these aren't even the Elite 10. These are just second tier, but they got wrecked that badly. Again, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. That's what Central has basically beaten a lot of these groups, a lot of these factions. And now Joker comes over and it's like, well, now you got to choose. You either get expelled or you disband your group. And the guys who is there, he's like, well, all right, well, we're going to have to accept it. We're going to have to disband. And Megumi's like worried. And then Joker does something stupid. Joker basically goes, y'all scum. You all suck. None of you are better than us. You know, you should all die, blah, blah, blah. I'm a typical hated character in a manga series, and when I lose, it's gonna be that much better. You know, that's what the manga basically did with this character. And he's like, wow, you should kiss the ground at Central's feet. And then both Takumi and Soma get up from where they sat, or stood, to go to this guy and go, yeah, that ain't gonna happen, buddy. And Joker's just like, his face is like, what was that? And Megumi's so surprised, because Megumi's like, wait, they were just here a second ago, and then there's the judges looking, and Joker's like, you got something to say, you little freshman shits? And it's like, wow, okay. And that's the chapter. So let me talk to you about the chapter. The chapter starts kind of good. It starts amazing, actually, where you see them at the venue hall, and you see the second tier, and you see the fact that the Elite 10 are nothing to be messed with. That's a fact. However, what you then get introduced is the second tier characters who were like, particularly Joker over here, who is so generically bad that it's like you hate him so much that when he loses, it's amazing, because then you don't give a damn. He could have an emotional backstory and you still wouldn't give a damn, because he's an asshole, okay? He's too over his head and he needs to be shut down. That's the thing with everything. I think that's the one main problem I had with this chapter, was the fact that the mangaka brought in a character that is so so hated. You hate him. Okay, you wouldn't want this guy to be your friend. You hate him so much that you hope he loses. And that's what's going to happen in the next couple chapters. I don't know who's going to face him. My money's on Soma faces him and Takumi faces somebody else, but they cannot both challenge him. Something needs to happen. Yeah, that's my predictions. Honestly, I am enjoying this new arc, this Survivor's Purge arc, because it opens up an entire thing to basically challenge other people, and it's amazing because there's so many other people that are now being introduced. But here's my main problem with this, and I'm not sure if you guys are going to agree with me or not. Because so many people are being introduced, do we care about these people? And if the answer is yes, you're lying to yourself, because you don't. Because you don't know who these people are except about how they act. And how they act alone isn't something that you should go off of in terms of like either liking or giving a damn about a character. So yeah, you just gotta remember that although these characters are built to act this way, even if they have an emotional backstory or not, that they show at the last second of them losing, it doesn't matter, because from the time that we were shown them to the time that when they lose, we don't care. Unless, of course, you know, the manga does something completely different with these characters, and I hope that they do something completely different with these characters, because I don't want it to be something that's so generic where it's like, oh, we have to hate these characters. I want them to bring in a character from Central who's fighting for Central, but it's like you actually like this character. So it's a conflict of interest then that makes it that much more entertaining. But anyways, you know what? I digress. I feel like I'm talking negative about this, but you know what? No, it was an amazing chapter. Again, my only problem was the fact that they brought in like some generic characters that we're gonna hate along the way. I still want Joichiro to be a judge. I have a hypothesis that Joichiro is going to eventually become a judge, and so will Dojima-senpai. I feel like they will become judges in these Shokugekis, which will make it that much more interesting. Also, to be fair, in last chapter, where we got more about Arina talking about, like, Soma and how she feels about it and everything, it was kind of bullshit, because she didn't really feel anything about it. She's like, well, she feels something about it, but she basically goes to Soma, you know, hey, how do you feel that my dad talks shit about your dad? He's like, well, I don't really care. I'm just gonna do what I feel is necessary. And that's it. But that was the last chapter. I digress, because I didn't get to talk about it, but that was my feelings about last chapter. Last chapter was pretty okay. This chapter was amazing, and I can't wait to see more about the Survivor's Purge arc. Is that what it's called? I need to know. Like, comment down below if this new arc is called the Survivor's Purge arc, or like the Tutsuki Elite 10 arc battle or something. I think they talked about what the name of the arc is or something, and I just forgot. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next week. Hopefully, I know I'll be able to definitely hopefully the chapter comes out on regular time Friday, so I can actually make these videos, because I'm actually liking making these videos. Comment down below your thoughts, opinions about this chapter. I like interacting with people. Subscribe down below if you haven't, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!